How long did the Perron family live in the Rhode Island farmhouse? The real Perron family lived in the farmhouse for approximately 10 years. Located in the small country town of Harrisville, Rhode Island, Roger Perron and his wife Carolyn purchased the home in the winter of 1970. The 200-acre property offered plenty of space for them to raise their 5 daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cynthia, and April. They moved out in June of 1980. Did Lorraine Warren and the real Perron family support the making of the movie? Yes. Our research into the Conjuring true story reveals that paranormal investigator Lorraine Warren acted as a consultant to director James Wan and the filmmakers. She even visited the Wilmington, North Carolina set on the lot of EUE/Screen Gem Studios. The film itself was mostly inspired by she and her late husband Ed Warren's case files and recordings dealing with the 1970s Perron family haunting. The entire Perron family also put their support behind the film, having already come together to support daughter Andrea Perron's self-published 2011 book about their experience, titled House of Darkness, House of Light. Like Lorraine, various members of the Perron family, who were friends with producer Tony DeRosa Grund, also visited the Wilmington, North Carolina set. Andrea, as expected, has been the most vocal of the group, while her sister Christine has been the most reluctant to talk about her experiences in the house. Who was the real Bathsheba Sherman? The most haunting spirit in the movie is that of suspected witch Bathsheba Sherman. Born Bathsheba Thayer in Rhode Island in 1812, she married fellow Rhode Islander Judson Sherman, 1 year her senior, in Thompson, Connecticut on March 10, 1844. The two were married by Vernon Stiles, a local justice of the peace. Bathsheba filled the role of housewife while her husband Judson worked as a farmer on their land. Fairly well off, Bathsheba and Judson had a son, Herbert L. Sherman, born when Bathsheba was approximately 37 years of age in March of 1849. It is possible that they had 3 other children as well, all of whom did not survive past the age of 7, though no census records could be found to confirm these reports. The family also usually took in a boarder, most likely to help them on the farm. Was Bathsheba Sherman really a witch? There is no hard evidence to support that Bathsheba Sherman was really a witch, only legend and local folklore. Having lived on a neighboring farm in the 1800s, suspicion grew when an infant mysteriously died in her care. When the baby was examined, it was determined that the mortal wound was caused by a large sewing needle that had been impaled at the base of the child's skull. Though the townspeople believed that Bathsheba sacrificed the infant as an offering to the devil, due to insufficient evidence, a court found that she was innocent of any wrongdoing. Despite her name being cleared legally, the public was not convinced. In her book House of Darkness, House of Light, Andrea Perron describes her mother Carolyn talking to a man who she refers to as Mr. McEachern. Supposedly a bit of a local historian, Mr. McEachern told Carolyn that Bathsheba treated the help badly and that she starved and beat her Sherman farm staff. How did Bathsheba die? In researching the Conjuring true story, we discovered that the suspected witch Bathsheba Sherman died as an old woman on May 25, 1885, roughly 4 years after her husband Judson Sherman's death in 1881. Bathsheba lived to see her son Herbert, a farmer like his father, marry his fiancée Anna in 1881. Various articles online will have you believe that her body literally turned to stone when she died, or that Bathsheba died from a bizarre form of paralysis that puzzled and frightened doctors. Their basis is never more than legend and local folklore, or internet rumors, and these same articles often state that Bathsheba had 4 children, all of whom died before reaching the age of 4. However, U.S. government census records contradict this, since we know that Bathsheba had a son, Herbert L. Sherman, who lived a long life as a farmer and had a family of his own. As for her 3 other children, we could only find an unofficial record of their existence on a public internet family tree that lists their names as Julia, born in 1845, Edward, born in 1847, and George, born in 1853. It is possible that they died before the next census was conducted. Was the real Perron family home used in the movie? No. Tapping into its $13 million budget, the filmmakers rebuilt the Perron farmhouse on a sound stage in Wilmington, North Carolina. Pictured on the bottom is an image of what the real Rhode Island farmhouse looked like in the 1970s when the Perron family lived there. Where is the real farmhouse located? The real Conjuring farmhouse, often referred to by the Perron family as the Old Arnold Estate, is still standing and is located in Harrisville, Rhode Island. The barn is also still standing and is located to the left of the house. When the real Perron family fell upon hard times after a pipe burst and flooded their business, they reluctantly sold off a significant portion of their property's 200 acres. The lot size is currently listed at 8.5 acres. Subsequent owners have referred to the property by other names in addition to the Arnold Estate, including more recently the Old Brook Farm. Its original name before it was called the Arnold Estate was the Dexter Richardson House, named after the family that built it. The current owners, Norma Sutcliffe and Gary Nelfrich, have no relation to the Perron family. Is there a real Conjuring doll that inspired the movie Doll? Yes, but it is not related to the Perron family haunting. The doll is based on a separate case from 1970 that paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren handled, the case of the Annabelle doll. The details of that case are as follows. A nursing student named Donna received the Raggedy Ann doll from her mother as a birthday present. Shortly thereafter, Donna and her roommate Angie began to notice that the doll would switch positions and move around their apartment on its own. Donna and Angie then began to notice childlike messages that had been scribbled onto parchment paper, which they concluded must have come from the doll. Things escalated when their friend Lou, who had been staying with them, claimed that the doll tried to strangle him during the night. On another occasion, Lou believed that the possessed Annabelle doll was responsible for bloody claw-like scratches that mysteriously appeared across his chest when he went to investigate a noise coming from Donna's room. In an attempt to rectify the situation, a séance was held. The medium informed them that the doll was possessed by a young girl named Annabelle, who had resided on the property before the apartments were built. When she was just 7 years old, Annabelle's lifeless body was found in a field where the apartments now stood. Ed and Lorraine Warren eventually came to investigate after being informed of the doll through a priest that Donna had contacted. At the recommendation of the Warrens, an exorcism of the apartment was performed, and at Donna's request, the Warrens took the Annabelle doll into their possession where it still remains today. How long had the Conjuring movie been in the works? The Conjuring movie had been in the works for over 20 years, ever since paranormal investigator Ed Warren played producer Tony DeRosa groomed a tape of his interview with Carolyn Perron that he had recorded during his first visit to the farmhouse. DeRosa groomed in turn recorded Ed Warren playing the tape, and at the end of DeRosa groom's recording he can be heard saying, "If we can't make this into a film, I don't know what we can." He can also be heard discussing his idea for the movie with Ed. "It was either black or white," says producer DeRosa groomed. Either this woman Carolyn Perron had severe mental problems, which she didn't, or she was literally scared to death, which she was. For more videos and continuation of the next part, leave a like and subscribe on the channel. See ya.